Okay. See, that's what a lot of these guys I hear online, just by their comments, they think they're going to have a really romantic time. SHTF comes and they put stuff aside and the women fall head over heels over them. And there you go. Right? They're the hero and they got these girls, all these women, pretty girls, going to fall to them. And I don't think that's happening, guys. This video is kind of two different topics. Number one, I was asked what I thought about gender roles in SHTF. And the other is kind of a response to some of these guys, right? That they really, in videos that I see, they really think that that's their time to shine. And they're waiting for it. For those of you guys out there that think that, look at, imagine that happens. SHTF. You're in your place and you have food and stuff. You think you're going to go out there and find these pretty girls, right? You're going to find them and they're going to come back with you. How are you going to persuade them? How are you going to convince them you have all this stuff in the first place? And second, that really pretty girl out there, whoever it is you're thinking about, or whoever, in your mind, when you're really thinking, okay, well, they're going to come to me, if you have one in particular, a couple in particular, whatever the hell the case may be. Do you think they're going to look the same? They're going to have their makeup? Think their hair is going to be nice, Think when they walk past you, you give them a hug or something, you can smell the scent, with their hair. Will they just pass by? You think you can smell that perfume if they got it? Think they're going to smell the same way after not bathing? Right? Not bathing for a while, not eating, Think they're going to be that nice and sweet, whoever it is you're thinking about? I don't think so, dude. Something to think about. Right? It's like, in that situation, it may sound pretty darn rude and bad, but, imagine kind of like some street lady. Some street person, a woman on the street, right now, are you inviting them into your home to live with and fall in love with? Because obviously they don't have anything and you got food in your house and you're in a better situation than they are and they don't have the luxury of, bath on a regular basis and shampoo and conditioner and just wash their clothes and, clean clothes every day. That's kind of the situation you're looking at. So that's going to go for you guys. First off, that's something to think about, man. This, bring them and they're going to fall in love with you and nah, man. That ain't going to happen. The second is going to be the question about what I thought about gender roles in a shit at the fan situation. You see, I'm thinking about this based on my experiences in life, right? So let's go with a small situation, a small incident. About 2.5 years ago, me and my wife were asleep in bed. About 2 in the morning, 2:30, somewhere between there. This old door in the patio closet broke off. It was windy and the damn door just gave. And it just fell off, right? And it slammed against the concrete and it made a really loud noise, right? I remember I got up real quick and her just starts moving around too and she heard it like, oh, what the hell was that, in our heads. We didn't say anything. There were no words exchanged. But I look at her, she looks at me. And I get up to go check it out, right? I got up to go check it out. And, I thought somebody had broke in. So, she gets up, and I think she's heading towards the safe. She knows what to do already. There's no words exchanged. But she goes over there, and I get mine. I have a 9 there at the time. And so I get a hold of that. I don't turn the light on. And I come out of there real quietly. And then I'm just listen. It's my place. I know the layout. I don't hear anything. Nothing at all. And I don't move for a while. And I realize there's nobody here. So, after looking around, you can see, you can tell an image in the dark. So I'm like, okay, I don't think they're armed if there's anybody in here. I don't think there's anybody in here. So I hit the lights and looking around, nothing. Realize that it's patio door. But in that situation, me and my wife in bed at night, wakened by a noise. I get up and check it out. Who's generally in that situation the one to get up and go out and check it out? Right? Without thinking about it. A guy. And his wife will stay there. Or his girlfriend or whatever. Right? That's typically the way it goes. And I don't think if there's an SHTF, if there's some economic collapse, I don't think that means that now there's a loud noise and I'm going to stay in bed and I'm going to let my wife go out. I think that's going to stay the same. And I think that's typically how most, there could be some differences, but I think that's mostly how it goes. You look at Naked and Afraid, there's another example. It's a shit hit the fan, but they choose to do that. But still, they go from air condition, heating, a refrigerator, a microwave, an oven, clean clothes, a washing machine, dryer, all that stuff to nothing. Absolutely nothing. But their birthday suit and an item or two. And that's it. If you watch the show, and again, I watch the show, but I also watch the credits and see how many writers are in a reality show. So, I get it. But for the most part, if you look at it, who are the ones that typically go out hunting? Yes, the guys usually go out hunting. There'll be women out there hunting too. And setting up traps, same thing. But on average, it's more the guys doing the hunting than the ladies out there. And they're tough women, don't get me wrong. Both of them. I can't do that shit, man. But they're tough men and women out there. But still, even with an expert, two experts out there, typically the guy's going to go out there and, go out there looking for animals and shit. And the woman will stay back and boil water or something like that, or build a reinforced shelter or something. But that's typically what I see, and I can imagine that would be the same if I had to bug out. I say bugging out into the woods is a bad idea, but if I had to, last resort, I can see myself going out, trying to whack some animal, try to kill some animal or something like that, as opposed to sending my wife, but there's fishing or something like that where you're just right there. That's great, perfect. But if not, I'd imagine we'd fall into that same situation. Going back to the breaking at night. Here's another situation that I've been in. Let's just say there's a guy and a girl, and you're walking around. I don't know if you guys, downtown here anyway, you got all this stuff, 6th Street, all these bars and all that, and then you got all kinds of stuff downtown. And then you got a little bit of, where they're doing some development and stuff where there's not so many people, and okay, let's cut through here and go through there or whatever, and get down there, downtown. And, just walking around, bar hopping and checking stuff out. You cross an area, and there's a couple people, you can tell they're kind of shady or something, like they've been doing some drinking. Right? And where I'm in a situation look, if it's me and a buddy of mine, well, it's no issue. I see a couple of guys, I don't want an issue with them. I don't want, I don't want to fight these guys, but if I have to, I'm not too worried about it. Because it'd be two of them, two of me. But, the situation, me and the wife, and you see some shady characters. What do I say? Len, I don't think we're going to have a problem, but if we do, then you need to move. Head towards head towards back where the people, right? Just run. And she looks at me, I'm she's like, I don't want to leave. Well, if you If you stay here, I can't defend myself because I'm defending you. I'm going to get hurt. I need you to go if that happens. And she just, okay, she understood after that. You know, she wasn't going to argue with me and all this and that. But she got it. She understood. And she said she's been told that before. You know, same thing. And what are my odds of dealing with two? Well, better than dealing with two and not watching myself. That's for sure. Right? But, you know, would I expect her to let me run and her deal with them? No. You know, I know better. It's like, no, hell, you know, if I won't have, I don't like those odds. But I think I have better odds than my poor wife getting into altercation with two guys. So, you know, I think that'll play out. Same thing. Shit hit the fan. I don't think necessarily, you know, she'd be the one to get up if there's an economic collapse. She's getting up, checking things out. I think it'd still be me. I think that's going to bleed over. And if you're a woman, you got to be very careful. Like I said, I feel her better. You know, like I tell her, if that was to ever happen, you know, there's my dad, my brother, you know, they live pretty close by. You know, I'm like, you can go to them. They'll take care. I don't want her by herself. Right? I don't think anybody, I think the lone wolf approach is bad, man. I don't think that's a good way. I made a whole video about that. I'm not going to even bother to go into that here. You want to check that out? Check out that video. But I don't agree with the lone wolf approach. I think it's going to be pretty rough. But I think, you know, you're better off in a group, especially if you're a woman. Because like this guy, I remember it was a good comment. He said that, you know, ladies, stick with your family unit. That's the way it should be, because there's sickos out there praying for an SHTF so they can reenact or redo all the sick shit they've seen in the underbellies of the internet. And I'm like, man, I read that comment like that's sad. Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see those guys out there just waiting for that shit, wanting that to happen. You know, if you look at like Hurricane Katrina, that was an SHTF. How many people were beaten up, man? I mean, there was a bunch of guys beaten up. Women were beaten up and raped. So, you know, and I mean, you know, would you, if you're a woman especially, you want to be put in that kind of situation where there's a risk for that. You know, you want to be by yourself or in a group. It's harder to deal with a group, man, than one person, that's for sure. Safety in numbers. We've always done that, right? Got people out in the middle of nowhere, they'll bunch up into a little group, right? Built that into a tribe or, you know, a village or something. So that's in our nature. And I think also gender roles, that's probably going to come back too. I mean, it's already there in some ways if you look at it. I mean, you look at teachers, you know, like for young kids. I mean, you know, a lot of that stuff is still in society. There's some stuff that's in us, I believe. Right? I'm not a male chauvinist, but I'm just saying I believe that there are some things that are just embedded into us. And you can say, well, that's just the way of society. Yeah, I get that. But also, you got different societies all around the world that come up with similar gender roles, and before they even met. That says something to me. Right? And, you know, I've known two women, you know, in the Marines, and they've got all kinds of physical ailments, man. Like one can't hear, and she has like something wrong with her nerve, and she'll like lose I forget, like her leg will stiffen up and she'll fall over sometimes. The other one, back problems, and her knees are shot, and there's something wrong with a disc in her neck. You know, all they said they try to do what the guys do, and they hurt themselves. You know, women have different bodies, different limitations, and you know, I feel bad for them. And even at work, I tell this one, you know, hey, look, don't hurt yourself. We'll take care of it. You know, she gets upset. I can do it. Okay, but you know, I'm here to help. I don't mind. You may hurt yourself. You wish you did. Let me just help you. But you know, I get the wanting to feel, you know, equal. Women are tough too, but there's just different limitations, man. You look at like for a while, like you know, we can do different things naturally. Take shooting for example. My wife, you know, first time shooters, women, man, they can pick that shit up. I mean, quick. I don't know how the hell their brain is just wired. It makes sense to them. A handgun, they can just take it and start getting on right. Like, God, dog, what the hell, you know? I'm a decent shot, but it took me a while to get there. And now it's like, you know, they can catch up pretty damn quick. On the other hand, you say there's two guys running, you know, charging at each other. One's running faster than the other, and you got a water balloon. You want to hit them both, you know? A guy, you can look at that and calculate, you know, within seconds, okay, they're going to meet up right here. You know where they're going to meet up, and you can time the damn water balloon or football, whatever trying to knock them with, you know. Just say water balloon so you can get them both. But anyway, you can calculate that. You know, we're not quite the same. There are differences, you know. Guys, obviously, you know, everybody knows, you know, have a bit more build, and those poor women that I was mentioning, they hurt their bodies because they didn't care. There are different limitations, and all those limitations, there's also roles that we play naturally, right? And I think that's not going to change. I think that's going to come back if there's an SHTF. You know, a lot of guys I know that, you know, they got babies, mama's got them for child support, and they got them on a short leash, you know. In an SHTF, you think she's going to be able to, you know, give them hell? If you don't, blah, 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 I'm not going to let you see your kids. Or you're going to call, you know, I'll call child support on you. You think that's going to stand? I don't think so. You know? I would imagine, you know, that could lead to really, really bad circumstances there for somebody. You're giving some dude hell, you know, don't let him see his kids, and, you know, a good guy. I mean, I've been through that myself, you know, growing up. My dad was a good man, but my mom, you know, put him through a lot of crap. Just, that's the way she was. And she's paying for it now. None of us talk to her. None of my siblings, not my father, none of us. She drags us through a lot of crap. So, you know, but anyway, my point is, SHTF, and you got these laws and stuff that they put, you know, women on a certain level sometimes. That's going to be gone too. So, you know, that'd be something else to think about. Without the law on your side, and, you know, against somebody, you know, holding them down, that you know, might turn against you, and if somebody, you know, you can't call the cops, that may be another factor. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about, man. The way things are now, you call the cops, or, you know, somebody's having, you know, you don't do this, or, you know, something like that. I ain't gonna let you see your kids if you don't do this, that. Well, you know, that's gonna be gone, and frustrated and pissed off, and, you know, just all the stress. They may remember that, and not the same person after not eating. Yeah, that might wind up pretty bad. I'd say it's best for everybody to stay in a group, but especially for women. And I personally believe that gender roles will come back to a degree. I mean, it's kind of like that already in the prepping community. I mean, you got more guys tend to label themselves as preppers, and women tend to label themselves as homesteaders. You know, if you look on YouTube, there's more. I'm like, why aren't there any female preppers? And I did that video, and then a lot of women, you know, come up and, you know, that we do, but we're homestead. It's part of prepping, but different. I'm like, well, I can't argue with that, and they were right. They were absolutely right. But I didn't even think about that aspect. But if you look at just even the way prepper to female prepper, you know, where they tend to be more of the homesteader, and they label themselves, you know, the ones I've talked to anyway, as homesteaders, that kind of, you know, that kind of goes along with it. And then the stuff, you look at what guys prep for, is more firearms prep in there, and medical supplies prepping, and women, you know, tend to, which really is the more important, would be food, which I, you know, same thing with me, but food aside and stuff like that. But, you know, just stuff like that. They got a better sense of that, I think, man. And at least in this guy here, you know, comfort items, stuff like that. You know, I think about it for barter, but, you know, me, I just the necessities. That's really where I focus on, right? Food, water, defense, and hygiene, stuff like that, man. But anyway, that's my take on it. I hope that answers the question. And that's it for me, guys. Y'all have a good one.